Hello, today I'm going to talk about how to pick up a backup drive for your files. This is something very simple in general, but quite a lot of people don't understand the difference between the different type of drives that are on the market and why one costs so much more money than the other one. But I will go over that, and I will talk a little bit about the cloud backup systems, just briefly. I'm not gonna spend too much time on cloud backups, but I'll just give you my thoughts and the goods and the bads of it. So the first thing first is, why would one need a backup? We want a backup so we can preserve our files in case of a disaster. Let's say you're an accountant and you work in QuickBooks or any other software like Sage or something like that, and if you don't have a backup drive to back up those files to, if your internal hard drive of your computer dies, your files are gone, more or less are gone. I'm not gonna go into details. Can you recover those files from a backup drive? Yes, you can. It's very expensive in general. But let's just imagine if a drive goes bad, it goes bad and your files are gone. So for a regular user, that's very stressful, and that's why we want a backup drive. So there are a couple of scenarios for backup drives, and the best way to figure out which drive you need is if you just ask yourself a couple of questions. First one is, why do you need a backup drive? Do you need a backup drive so you can offload files from your computer to that backup drive so you can free up space on your internal hard drive? Or do you want just a clone of your computer so if something happens to your computer, you can just recover everything very fast? So I'll go with the first scenario. You want to offload files from your computer because you're either a video producer, photographer, or any other profession that actually accumulates gigabyte storage very fast. If you're one of those people, you want to ask yourself a question: can you lose those files? How important they are, the files that you want to offload? Is it something that you can go online and download again? Is it something that you really don't care about? Or is it something very precious to you? So if you answer no, those files are just, generic files, I can lose them, I don't care about it, then you can go and buy yourself a single external hard drive. The reason why I'm asking that question is because if you need to keep those files safe, the one that you're offloading from your computer, the idea behind the backup concept is, if you want to preserve files, is you need to have them in at least two places. So if you just buy an external hard drive with a single hard drive and you offload files that you care about to that drive, and that drive goes bad, your files are gone. So that's why if you don't care about the files, you can back up to a single hard drive, external hard drive disk. But if you care about your files, you need a RAID backup, a drive that actually contains two hard drives inside, just like this one. I'm showing my two drives here. One is called Time Machine Backup and the other one is RAID Backup. So to this drive here, the RAID Backup, I offload files that I don't want on my internal hard drive, but I cannot lose if the backup goes bad. That's why this drive actually has two hard drives inside, and let me show you. So here is the RAID backup. It has two internal hard drives. So what happens is you copy files to it and it will clone them to the second hard drive. This one, as you can see, it's set up as a RAID 1, which is mirror. What I'm offloading to this drive, it will clone itself internally to the second drive. And in that case, if one of the drives goes bad, then I still can recover my files from the second hard drive inside that backup drive. And it's very easy to, if one drive goes bad, I can buy another drive, put it in, it will rebuild itself, and I again have a mirror of my data on two places. The second scenario that I talked about is if I want to clone my computer. So I have a lot of programs here on this computer, a lot of files. If I want to have a complete copy of the operating system, passwords, files, everything, I'm going to buy a single backup hard drive. So that's a hard drive that you buy from the store. They're relatively cheap. Those are the cheapest drives that you can get. They can be desktop and laptop type of drive. Buy whatever you want. That backup drive will have a copy of your files on the laptop. You're not offloading files to it. You're making a copy of your computer to that external hard drive. In that way, again, we have copies of the files in two places. One is internal drive. The other one is the Time Machine backup drive. The third option is cloud backups. Those needs to be taken with a little bit of salt because they promise you all the good things of the local backup, but the speed for uploading and downloading depends on your internet connection. And if you have a lot of data, restoring your files can take considerable amount of time. It can literally take days. 100 gigabytes multiplied by 124, that becomes 102,000 megabytes. So let's just imagine that that's a single file. So if you want to recover that file from online, you're going to divide that by your speed, and which normally, if it's 100 megabits per second, you're getting about 10 megabytes per second. So you need 10,240 seconds divided by 360, almost 3 hours to recover that file. So if you have 100 gigabytes, and again 24, and you have a regular drive which does 100 megabytes per second, you're getting your files in 20 minutes. So that's the difference. So just take that into consideration. And believe me, 100 gigabytes of photos, you're not gonna get it in 3 hours. You're probably gonna get it in a couple of days. Well, that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, just write down them below. Thank you.